episode of Bar Drinks and Entrees. This is episode 10. What's going on, everybody? Kenny, what's up, man? Episode 10. Episode 10. We 10 episodes in. Happy Juneteenth to everybody.
Yes.
Woo!
Happy Juneteenth to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But episode 10, we here. Like I said, man. Bar Drinks and Entrees, episode 10. Happy Juneteenth. My name's James.
Yeah, my name is Kenny, and we're here bringing casual conversations to life. And right now we have some guests on the line that we want to introduce to everybody. And I'll start with Taylor, cousin Taylor.
Before you get there, though, Kenny, before you get there, man, how's your week, man? Like, let's ask, man, how's your week, man? How's your week, bro?
My week been good, man. Happy Friday's here. Happy Juneteenth. You know, definitely. You know, it's something that I like the way that things are being brought to the attention of the media as far as Juneteenth and the Black Lives Matter movement, and a lot of things being brought to you know, I never seen nothing like this. So this is definitely something that I definitely appreciate. How about yourself?
Oh man, great week, man. Like you said, it's Juneteenth. It's a good day. We here. It's the weekend. Going into the weekend.
We here.
We here, man. We here. They're going to the weekend. Man, Kurt got on the shirt. Yeah. I got on equality. I see yours. I know that says legalize being black.
Legalize being black.
Yeah, so, you know, we here, man. We having a good time. It's a good week. So we'll dive into some other things as we go further along in the show. So without further ado, Kenny, man, make sure let's introduce our guest that's here today with us.
My bad, man. I definitely we supposed to converse before we do this, but getting into the guest. I got Taylor to my, well, I don't know what the screen looks like on y'all's screen, but to my left, we got cousin Taylor. Go ahead and say hi.
Hi.
And then we have our friend Taylor. We call her Nike Taylor.
Hey.
Nike Taylor.
Nike Taylor, that's it.
Then we got my sister from another mother. We got Jaleesa.
Hey.
What's up? And James, I'll let you do the honors, man. You know, go ahead, give a backstory of this gentleman on the line right now.
This is a great brother of mine, man. Like a great brother of mine. Shout out to my brother, and I'm gonna let him say his own name, but shout out to my brother. So the initial pilot for the show, he was the host. The initial
pilot, half ago, right?
This had to be early. Was it January or was it like
before? January, February of 2019, way before we even put out anything?
Yeah, man. It was just a pilot. We knew what we wanted to do. We knew that we wanted him to be one of the hosts of the show, and he did it. It never came out, but we still got the footage. I think we're gonna drop some of that footage of what
you got to.
I want to
footage. But so have been promoting the show. But have been promoting the show. All day long for me. Just promote. I send it to him. He don't say nothing. Boom. So episode 8, I asked him to promote. It was episode 8, between 7 and 8. I asked him to promote the show. And he said, I ain't promoting shit. I'm tired of you and your janky ass, excuse my language, your janky ass co-host Kenny keep using me to promote and don't even put me on the show. I was the original. I was the original.
Yes, he was.
He was the original.
Yes, he was.
But the funny thing is, I was like, you know what? That's crazy that you say that, because that's why I was texting you, so you can be on the show. And he don't believe me, Kenny, but please tell him, Kenny.
Yeah. Well, yes, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Before I let Kurt speak, I do want to say this. After the pilot, he came to me and he said we got something he thinks is gonna be good, but he said that, you know, for this show to work and that he thinks it'd be a good show, he said that he think we should be the host. And he gave us that information. And when he gave us that information, man, we're here now, 10 shows in. And we're getting better and better every show. And he gave us some information and we took and we ran with it, and that information has put us on this platform that we are today. So shout out to my man Kurt though. Go ahead, Kurt, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to give you your flowers, man.
Absolutely.
Can't hear you, Kurt.
There we go. My bad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties in the studio. Teddy Riley production team is over here today. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate the invitation. I'm honored. I'm definitely honored to be here. As I said to you before, when you first brought the idea to me, when we talked about the podcast situation, it was a great idea, and I definitely thought that you and Kenny would be great faces of it. It's your brand, and you should run with it, own that, and you guys have done a great job doing that. So here at episode 10, I'm still 10 toes down with you as I was the first time out the gate, and I will stay 10 toes down with my brothers, good Kenny and my good brother James as well. Love y'all, and this is great right here. Ladies, it's a pleasure to meet y'all. Some I already know. Miss Taylor, you already know that. Swoosh.
Swoosh gang.
Swoosh gang. Checks over stripes, y'all.
Yep.
But yeah,
man, I appreciate when James told me what you said as far as your feedback. You wanted us to be the host. I said, nigga, oh. I told y'all. I slipped. You know, but y'all know this. You know, I ain't no talkative person, but more and more, you know, I begin to see the vision that Kurt laid upon us doing the pilot. So appreciate that, man.
not a problem. And real quick, I'd just like to say this, put this out there. All thoughts and feelings and words spoken are those of James and Kenny alone. I am not associated or affiliated with that. Okay, so please keep Kirkin out of that.
So moving
please
forward,
and thank you.
Man. Before we get into the happy hour, man, we also like to let our not our host, but our guests promote anything that they got going on. So Kurt, since you were the last person talking, let's start with you and we just go with the ladies afterwards, if that's okay with you guys.
Wow, we got a lot of things cooking on this side. As you know, we got 15 good minutes. We on all streaming platforms, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google, Anchor, Spotify. If you can think of if you can catch a podcast there, we are there. So that's going. Me and my co-host Shy, we rocking with that. We got Great Sleep candles popping as well. Soy-based candles, black business. You know what I'm saying? Support us. It's about us. So we definitely gonna fill up a good aroma in your home. And we're also working now on Kirkin, a brand of apparel to keep pushing the envelope. You know what I'm saying? We're working on building wealth amongst our community. So that's what we on. That's what we getting to.
Cool. How about you, Jaleesa?
So I personally I'm new to the entrepreneurship. So I started a business called HQO. And basically it's like HQO. We're bringing healthy, quick option vending machines we're starting in dialysis centers and gyms. And so we're starting up the contracts now, so I'm excited. I have my vending machines ready to go, my LLC. But just off the top of my head, I want to give a shout out to Bee Botanicals, amazing rice water, and they have more products coming soon. Mama Junelle's, my cousin Cece Styling on Instagram. She's amazing. She did my hair. I have a lot of friends that do hair, but yes, so those are the businesses that are coming off the top of my head. But if you all will ever welcome me back, which I hope you will, because I am absolutely a fan and I'm excited, then I will make sure that I have some businesses written down to shout out so you guys can check them out.
Cool.
All right, thanks. Hey, entrepreneurship, man. I definitely applaud that.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. How about
Nike Taylor.
Yeah, so right now I am in Florida. I miss you guys. But we start this online business where you can shop online. Our customers earn cash back on all of their purchases. And as a business owner, you earn a residual income on that. So shop on my website. It's shop.com/Imani Faith.
Okay. I'll make sure I'll get the editor to put that on there so we can shout that out.
Yes.
Cousin Taylor.
thing I want to shout out is mental health in the Black community. We have to take care of ourselves, especially in everything going on right now, but every day. So yeah, that's it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, like on behalf of me and James, we thank you guys, and we're gonna move forward into the happy hour. And James and I definitely put this together. Definitely gonna be a fruitful happy hour, I would say. And I'm gonna get right into it. This is a little warm-up question. What are some of the things you guys looking forward to getting back to now that things are starting to open up? I guess DC and PG County or Montgomery County is going to go into phase 2 or opening up like at 50% capacity and things like that. Just hearing that on the news, what are some of the things that you guys want to get back out there and get into the most when things do open back up fully? And I'll start with you, Kurt.
I ain't getting into a good goddamn thing. That stuff ain't safe yet. I'm not buying it. No, I'm good, bro. If I still have to walk around with a mask on and practice social distancing, then I need to socially distance myself in a hole and protect myself. I got a family to think about. So yeah, it's gonna be a no for me. I'm not moving anywhere. I probably outside won't see me till 2021.
Okay. All right.
So the whole summer's gone. We ain't doing nothing this summer.
I would love to see it because like my oldest son, he plays football, and you know what I'm saying, like that's our especially our time to grind, and like we bond like really heavy during that time frame. But it just I don't think that they're gonna have a football season, and if that doesn't happen, then I'm more than sure that things aren't gonna go. Some of the schools. I've been notified and I've seen that they're doing polls to see how people feel about, doing the virtual learning thing another semester or another quarter, another year. If that's going to happen, then outside's not going to open up. It's not going to be safe. So yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah, I definitely went in on that survey because, having a full-time job and dealing with second graders and fifth graders with their homeworks is really challenging for myself.
Bruh, I have a 15-year-old daughter who's in honor classes and AP classes, and never in my life have I felt like a complete idiot.
Oh no.
Like, yo, don't ask me anything. I don't recall. Like, I've been out of school now, high school 20 years now. You know what I'm saying? And college is not that far behind that. So yeah, that's dead. Good luck. We're gonna fail together, Stink. We're gonna fail together.
What about you, Jaleesa?
So for me, I'm not really in a rush. My daughter misses, I have a toddler, so I'm one of those hands-on moms. We usually do the zoo, we'll travel, aquarium and all that kind of stuff. But when you think about it, when you go to these places, you're touching a lot of things, and I'm just not in a rush to get her back out there. But since she will be at a school that has, small classes, I am just trusting that they'll make the best decision. As far as me personally, I can't wait to get back in the lab because I was on a roll before COVID. And, we only have 4 grad students in my lab. So we were already really distanced ourselves, and we have our own equipment for the most part. So I don't mind going back to that. I wear my mask. I didn't touch anybody before anyway, and I ate lunch by myself before anyway. So I'm cool with that. But as far as my toddler, and, my husband is an essential worker. So, even at work, he isolates himself. So as far as my toddler, I'm not in a rush for her, but for me, I am excited to get back in the lab since it won't feel too different for us,
Right.
Hey, real quick, I'm sorry. Jaleesa, you're going to find out about this. I am a clown. So, look, I can see you over there eating your little cheese sandwich and your little 15 minutes and then back to work.
I'm eating zucchini fries right now.
See what I'm saying?
I sit by myself. Yes, sir.
You can't sit with me. Sorry.
Oh, because you don't got germs.
How about you, Taylor?
Which one?
Right.
Nike, Taylor.
So, like I said, I'm in Florida, so we a little different than y'all.
Y'all wilding down there. Y'all wilding down there.
They've been going crazy ever since last month, like early May. Jacksonville opened up their beaches and everything like that. So as of right now, everything in Florida is open. Like everything's just open. So a lot of people are going out and going crazy, and we're actually seeing a huge spike in our cases right now. So me personally, I've still been quarantined, staying to myself. But we did find this little semi-private beach that there's like not that many people. So, you know, we can socially distance at the beach. Nobody's really on top of you at the beach anyways. So that was really fun because during the whole 2 months, you know, before the open up happened, we couldn't go to the beach at all. They were closed. So I'm excited about that.
Hey, y'all be careful with the beach though, because you know the water got chlamydia.
Yeah, I don't get in the water. I just like the sun.
All right, watch out now.
Well, that's
beach,
gross.
The ocean got chlamydia.
Salt water?
Oh man.
Yeah, somebody ain't been. That's one thing about this whole like this quarantine situation. I've read and been like clicking on things and then researching wild stuff. So yeah, up in like the Arctic, part of the polar cap has a new species of chlamydia in the water.
That's crazy.
And you know all of that's it's all associated. So yeah,
You're
gonna walk in the ocean. You're gonna walk in the ocean and walk out with something you can't wash off.
Wow.
Be careful.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay out the water.
There you go.
I don't get in the water anyways. I just like the sun and the sand.
What about you, Taylor?
So I'm similar to Kirk. I'm not doing a lot. I've already told my supervisor that I am not going back even if the organization opens back up. I'm a therapist, so HIPAA's already allowed us to do telehealth services. So there's no my clients just like this. I can stay in my home. One thing I am looking forward to though is for it to be safe. But vacation is like something I value and I need in my life. And I'm actually planning a birthday trip for November on an island. So I'm hoping that will work out because it's an island. I can do like a Airbnb, just me and my people. But who knows how that will turn out.
Yeah, I hope it do work out, but it's definitely not looking promising.
I know.
It's definitely not looking promising. So this is what I want to do before I'm gonna switch some things up because
do your thing,
going
bro.
into this weekend is Father's Day. So I do want to say Happy Father's Day, Kurt, and Happy Father's Day to all you guys fathers on this episode.
Well, I'm not a father, so Happy Father's Day to you too, Kenny, man.
I said,
James, you are a father. You are a father figure to all them little bad kids that you manage and take care of at the rec center, bro.
You're a father figure to your nephew too, man.
Yeah, so, you're right, man.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
You a father figure to them kids that you don't claim.
But you know. Shit. Oh yeah, okay. Well, with that being said, well, guess Happy Father's Day to me.
Hey,
but I do got a young lady. That you know I consider like my daughter. So yeah, Happy Father's Day though.
Hey, Father's Day is the lamest holiday though, bro. For real, like dead ass. Like let's be real here. Like, what do you get for Father's Day? You get a grill that you got to cook on. You know what I'm saying? You might get some drawers. You might get some socks. You know what I'm saying? Like, half the time, you don't even get, like, the cool, a tie, but, like, the cool gifts that the schools and people put together for, like, moms for Mother's Day. Don't nobody do that for Father's Day.
Don't even do that.
So,
don't do it. Saying that. Yeah.
So, with that being said, let's switch it up a little bit. Because you're right, Kurt. Like, we always feel like, you know, the fathers don't get the flowers that they deserve. So, one thing that we want to do on here, we definitely want to shout out the fathers, and of course, we're recording this. It's going to come out after Father's Day, this episode. But with that being said, I'm gonna come to you first, Kurt. What is your fondest memory of being a dad, and then if your dad's in your life, or you're there with your dad, or if not in your life, father figure, what's your fondest memory of that? So, what's your best or fondest memory of being a dad?
Wow. Every day, like, you know what I'm saying? Anytime I get to interact, it's been like dope. Biggest moment was, you got me?
Yeah, you froze a little bit. You back.
My most fondest moment was, or has been, my oldest daughter, my daughter coming to me and telling me, you know what I'm saying, I see what you're doing and I appreciate it. Like that recognition was everything, and it has been everything. So yeah.
Cool.
But then she ruined it afterwards, asking for money. So I mean,
so
never gonna stop.
Yeah.
Never.
So
clearly.
Kenny, we're gonna come, ladies. We're gonna come to you, but I want to ask Kenny this as well, man. What's your fondest moment, Kenny?
My fondest moment I would leave for my daughter to talk about me being a father. My fondest moment of being a father, I would say, was the first day she was born, and first day, you know, I married my wife and became a father figure to my oldest daughter. But as far as my fondest memory with my father would probably be the very first time I played football. My first football game in Boys and Girls Club, my father taught me how to play the position he played in school, in high school, was which was cornerback. That's the guy that guards the wide receiver.
Who you saying that to?
Who you calling the dummy?
Yeah, or are you trying to hold up now? Like, who's that directed to, Kenny?
To any listener that does not know football.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
See how I clean that up?
Just wanted to make sure.
Right?
You gonna have to clean it up with that ugly hat on your head. Go ahead.
Oh man, yeah, but he took me out one weekend and taught me how to play the position, all the tricks and trade and all the skills that he learned from you know him playing, and he taught me how to play the position. And that season I led the county in interceptions.
That's dope.
So that's one of the fondest memory. Because football is my favorite sport, so that is one of my fondest memories from my father.
Cool, Jaleesa, let's come to you. What's your fondest memory? You know, I know you're not a dad, but what's one of your fondest memories that you had with your dad or, you know, a father figure in your life?
So my fondest memory is my dad has this vault. It's like keeps like things that are really near and dear to his heart, including his guns. But so when I started to become serious about science, I was like really young. I was 7 years old. And long story short, you know, I didn't do the best on one of my little science tests in second grade, and I was like crying. And so he took me to his vault and he pulled out these blueprints and he told me about this lawsuit that my family had in the South in the 80s, and we actually won. And so my grandfather, he was a janitor at a PWI, Alabama University. And he would tutor them chemistry and everything. He taught himself from books. I don't know why he was interested. And so my father has the original blueprints that he created, the hot water pump and the hot water system. And General Electric, GE, they stole it from him.
Wow.
And yeah, this is like public records. So they stole it from my great grandfather, my great grandfather, my grandmother's father. And they have a plaque in the university with his picture and his story. They had to pay restitution to my family down there, which I believe they used the money to open up the ribbon shack joints that they have. So they have a chain of restaurants, and we used that money to create wealth. And he told me that my father told me that I believe you have his spirit and his understanding of science, and you need to really ask God to, help that grow and plant a seed in you and believe in yourself. Don't get discouraged off no little test. That really changed my life. Little does he know, because not only do I do it because I had a grandmother that survived cancer and she went through MS, but, you know, my father told me that I had this great grandfather I never knew that was competent in something that people didn't think Black men really were competent in. And he was making extra money tutoring white children in a university. Like, that was huge to me. And it set the standard very high for me, and it made me believe in myself. So that's like my first real like close moment I remember having with my dad at 7. So
that's dope. That's dope.
So dope.
That's super dope. And shout
Black
out to
excellence.
shout out to your great grandfather, man.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you were talking about the hot water heater, if I'm not mistaken, mate. You know what I mean? But that's dope.
Yeah.
So,
because he didn't get the opportunities that I just, I just fly through the doors. Like he didn't get to do that, but he had the smarts. So.
Dope. Taylor, Nike Taylor.
So I just remember like back in high school that like when I was a freshman in high school that I didn't really have a close relationship with my father because he's a very shy person, very soft-spoken person. So, he like just really stayed to himself a lot. But I noticed that he was like really into sports. So that's kind of what kind of sparked me into getting into sports. So I literally just one day I just sat down next to him and just started asking questions like, what does it mean when they do this? What is that? Why did they call this? Why didn't they call that? And that's how I really learned the game. That's why I love sports as much as I do right now. And now we're like the bestest of friends. And
That's dope.
That is dope.
Yeah. I got my master's degree in sports management too. So.
I do. I got my degree in sports management too, Taylor. So shout out to you on that. Cousin Taylor, let's come to you, man. Cousin Taylor, what's your fondest memory?
Honestly, I was thinking and listening to you all speak on yours. And my dad was really chill. He's just a really laid back person. And he always showed up though when it came down to building stuff. Like if I needed anything moved or built, or like my science project, if I tried it on my own, he'll be like, what are you doing? Like, let me get this stuff for my job and let me figure this out for you. And like, he just always showed up that way for me. And those are like priceless moments. But one additional moment that recently just happened, I went home to Alabama for 3 weeks. And like the day before I left, I asked my dad to have a dance party with me. And my dad does not dance. He can't drink right now. So he couldn't be, buzzed or anything. And he actually danced with me. And they were just, aww.
That's dope.
Aww.
So
mine,
that's dope. So mine is, and before I say it, shout out to my stepdad, shout out to all my uncles and everything like that, because they played a major role in my life and helping me grow. But my fondest moment is actually meeting my dad for the first time at 34. I met my dad for the first time at 34. And the memory that I remember the most was he's a pastor, preacher, so he was in the pulpit and he was getting ready to preach, but his choir, they sung a song, they sung Worth. And when they sung it, I don't know what it was. The whole time I was there, I got there on a Friday. The whole time I was there was Sunday. I didn't cry. He cried. He cried a couple times prior to, hugged me as soon as he see me, but the whole time I was there, I didn't cry, nothing. So when they played that song, I cried, of course. You know what I mean? I'm tearing up, got my head down, I'm crying. And he came out the pulpit and he hugged me. And when he hugged me, it felt like I was covered. It felt like I was protected. It felt like, like it just felt like I can release any kind of frustrations, anger, anything like that about the situation. It just was an amazing feeling. And I can finally call somebody dad, you know what I mean? And without having to like say, hey, that's my stepdad, or, call them by their first name. I can actually say, hey, yeah, I'm going to see my dad. So that's my fondest memory. And I'm glad I got to do that before I left this earth. But so that's my fondest memory. So, happy Father's Day to all the great fathers and happy Father's Day. Go ahead, Ken.
I just want to shout out to all the men that step up and take care of their responsibility, even if that's not even your biological child. Shout out to those men as well. So, I mean, that's definitely a man of character that I do respect. Men stepping up and being that protector for our communities. And I think fathers are needed, just like mothers are, fathers are as well. So just happy Father's Day to all the listeners out there, to your father, to you, or, to any father figure in your life on behalf of Bar Drinks and Entrees.
That won't be it. Like you said, Bar Drinks and Entrees. Happy Father's Day to you guys. Happy Father's Day to my stepfather, my uncles that stepped in, to help me become the man I am today, man. Happy Father's Day to everybody. And happy Father's Day once again to Kurt and Kenny. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's get into it. We're going, today is Juneteenth, and we got this loaded question that we want to ask, and then we're gonna go into Gotta Get It Written One. We always play this game in the happy hour before we go into the first round. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask this loaded question. I'm gonna go with, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna go in a different order. So
okay.
I'm gonna go with you first, Taylor, down there in Florida.
Okay.
And if you was president of the United States, what would be your damn? What's the question, James?
Wow. Nah, if you was
your damn. Okay.
Yeah, nah, but Taylor, if you was president of the United States.
You asked it in a different way than what I had written down.
Okay, so if you were president, Taylor, what problems or what would you address first in the Black community, or what would you change in the Black community? And it don't have to be a bunch of things. It could be a couple things, and just the first things that come to mind, the things that you think that need to be changed right away, or immediate, or whatever is on your heart. But what would you change in the Black community if you had the opportunity to do that as president?
If I had the opportunity as president, I think my number one thing to go after would be education, because I know that because of the whole redlining situation, it's based on like your like where you live, how your school gets funded, which is like kind of backwards for me. So I would definitely try to work on reversing that and having just like set budgets for education and not having it depend on where you live, because that's why you see the poorest neighborhoods have the poorest education, because and the richest neighborhoods have the best education. And then it's like it's a law to like you can't go to a different city and go to that school just because it's better. You got to stick where you are, which I think that's kind of messed up too. So I would try and tackle that situation.
Oh,
Jaleesa.
All right, so if I was president, there are 3 things I would change. I definitely concur with Taylor, or swoosh. I concur with her about education.
Right.
I feel the exact same way, so I won't beat a dead horse with that. The next thing that I would do is I would make healthcare absolutely free. I would make a standard, of course, 6-figure income for nurses, doctors, nursing assistants as well. You know, the people that we rely on heavily, immensely. On top of that, I would definitely start a dialogue or some type of campaign where we can make healthy food less expensive and not just readily available in the organic markets or in the expensive side or section of the store. And then finally, there's been a systematic oppression through government assistance that I've had this discussion with my grandfather since like I was a teenager. And basically, and I think it was the 60s, they started, giving women government assistance like WIC and all kinds of things, but they had stipulations. And some of those stipulations were, and still are to this day, that there cannot be a man living in the house. There can only be one adult in the home, and the person has to have no income available. Of course, they have to search for jobs and all that kind of stuff. But what they did was they made this discourse between Black families where, if we find out, or when we pop up without, any warning, or whenever time we pop up and we see a man there, you have now violated your contract and compromised your income to feed your kids. And I don't think that should be so. So yeah, so education, healthcare, and food availability, and the systematic oppression through government assistance would be my 4 main things.
Gotcha. Taylor, cousin Taylor.
For me, I would break down the system. I know that's a big thing, but I'm all about policy, and that everything that everybody's saying has to do with policy and the way that the system is created, and like how oppression and racism is built in this country. So I would like tear it up, just throw it away. We'll start all over. Then I would increase the income for the helping field. So of course nurses, but social workers, the people like the peer educators, the people in the front line. Like, I don't understand why the people who do the most and the hard work get paid the least. Like, what are you gonna do without teachers? What are you gonna do without social workers? Like, people who work at these nonprofits. So that's what I would do. But tear it out the system, because just tear it all up.
Kurt.
What about you, Kurt? Yeah. Yep.
This thing on?
Yes, sir.
So if I was president, first and foremost, I'm not sure how this is going to be well received. Don't get it twisted, though. I'm all for my people. I'm all for equality. I am definitely all about supporting us and taking care of us and elevating us. As a president, though, my job is not just the community. I'm obligated to the community to represent you well, so I will always do that. But what I will do, though, is enforce and hold the states accountable for those elected officials that you've picked in your states and your counties and so forth, to make sure that they are doing all that they're supposed to do. So that would be my first and biggest stance. That's number one. Number two, education should be free. Folks pay taxes ridiculously. You pay taxes on your job, then you turn around and pay taxes for your home, for your car. You pay taxes at the grocery store. You pay taxes all these different places, and you don't normally see your tax dollars working for you. I would turn that around. I would definitely apply that. And like I said, education would be free. There should be no reason for anybody to go into debt to get an education to better themselves. How do I help you become better by putting you in poverty? That just doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me at all. So that would be my second talking point. And then my third would just be make sure that like I would rewrite, and like Taylor P said, cousin Taylor, I would break the wheel. Jaleesa said it too. I'm breaking the wheel. It has to be a change to the systemic issues within this country, and the reminders of the issues and the things of the past, rewriting history and really truly educate our people as we move forward. So as the Germans did in Germany, where they removed all flags with swastikas, all flags, all Confederate flags, all Confederate reminders would be erased and removed. So much so that I would probably blow up Mount Rushmore. There are some individuals that are on there who really are founders of the systemic issues and the oppression of this country, and especially for the people who look like us. So yeah, they can go.
Got you, man. That's beautiful. Go ahead, Kerry. You got some more to say?
Yeah.
I'll go first, Kenny. I'll let you end it, Kenny. I can go first if you want. I'll let you wrap it up.
Hey, bro.
For me, couple things. Of course, it's a lot of things. It's a loaded question. So I'm gonna run through some of the things that I was thinking about. And it's not in any particular order. But for certain offenses, especially with drug use and everything like that, I would rather do a rehabilitation center instead of jail time. I don't think, abusers should just go straight to jail, because that doesn't help the situation. So if we can kind of rehabilitate them and try to put them in a better place and try to heal them before we just throw them in jail and then send them back out here to do the same things over and over. So I'm a big fan of rehabilitation. We do make mistakes, but I think that certain mistakes you can come back from. Absolutely. So that's one thing that I would do. Another thing I would do is making sure the criminal justice is fair across the board for all of us. You get a crime, one person do the crime, another person do the same crime, they get less time for it. Or, because they have the better lawyer, or they have the money, or they have the prestige, or they know somebody that knows somebody, they you know what I mean? They have the upper hand instead of dealing with somebody who's, a prepaid lawyer, things of that nature, don't have the money to. So this person to get this time, that person get this time. Fair act. And I know they're working on certain things, but making it fair, like you get more time for coke than you do for crack, and it's the same drug. One's powder, one's cooked.
Right.
But it's who's selling it. It's who's selling it.
That's what I'm saying. I get
In
it.
the environment they're selling.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean.
Add even the discretion of judges, like.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that I would definitely making corporations, the big corporations pay more taxes. They're always getting bailed out when something goes wrong. They always getting tax breaks. For me, I believe, and me and Kenny talked about this, middle America, which is, they pay more taxes. You know what I mean? They pay more taxes than these big corporations, and they're the one that's doing most of the work that's keeping America afloat. Mm-hmm. Government assistance. This is a lot of people don't. When I say this, a lot of people kind of take this the wrong way. They take it wrong. They don't like it. But government assistance, I feel like we need to kind of revamp it in a sense of figuring out a way that maybe we not necessarily put a cap on it, but educating these people, like, don't just consider every time this person has another child or, and this is just, I'm talking though, it's my opinions, but every time a person has another child, you just give them more money. That doesn't help them out. You know what I mean? Because, like, for example, I was talking to a homegirl of mine, and she was telling me that she was making $1,000. This is when she was younger. She was making $1,000 every 2 weeks, and she needed insurance, health insurance. They was like, well, health insurance is $500. The lady told her, well, if you quit your job and just go into government assistance, you'll get it for free. So instead of it being presented like that, I definitely think it needs to be a situation where, yes, you need to have a job. So it should assist you. It shouldn't be government assistance shouldn't be a full-time job. It should be assistance it's needed. So the people that really need it. Like, just some people, they can't get it because they right on the cusp of not making enough or making too much. So the people that's out here just working, I'm gonna let you say something, Kurt. But for the people that's working, like, get it. But just because you're just sitting at home all day, and I'm not saying, let's educate them, put them in a position to have a job and things of that nature. Let them give them a job and then help them assist them. Don't just allow them just to sit at home. And I know y'all not gonna agree with this.
No, I do actually. Kirk, please, before I feel like you have a personality. Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
So, as a social worker, and I do community work, and I work with homeless young people in the city. I agree, but it also goes, I don't agree fully, but I agree in that the education part. And I think that even though we might have different views and we may call it, middle ground or liberal or left wing or right wing, like, I feel like there is middle ground in that it all comes down to education, breaking down the system, getting the resources in communities that need it instead of crippling them, right? Like, just like Elisa said, you can't have a man in the house if you're on certain government assistance. That's keeping the family separated. Yep. And that's a system of oppression. Yep. Okay, go ahead.
And I definitely want to change those things. And before Kurt go, I'm gonna say the last two things, and then I'll let you go, Kurt. But the funding of police, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have police, but some more money should go to education, and to the communities, to build those communities. Like we all said, education is a big thing. If they learn, they know better, they'll do better. I definitely believe in that, and to a certain extent. So my thing is, when it comes to this, teaching them life experience as well, financial literacy, professional classes. Instead of just teaching formalized education, every class, I think they need a class that teaches the youth, things about life and what's going on. Because I remember when I was in school, it was things that the teachers did. They taught us how to write checks. They told us what money really is. They taught us about, credit to a certain extent. I mean, of course, you get to school, you feel like get to college. A lot of people did this, go to college. Oh, well, give me a credit card. Boom. And they swiping it at 7-Eleven for some chips and a soda, and not realizing that what that means in interest and credit and all those things. So those things like that, interviewing, and then I would like to put money aside. And I don't know if they do this, but put money aside for scholarships for trades as well, not just college. I think trade schools, because everybody's not gonna go to college, but the trades are big. You still need auto mechanics. You still need HVAC systems done. You still need painters. You still need carpentry.
More than people with master's degrees.
Right. So, and then like me, I'm a big fan of the youth, so focus on the youth. But Kurt, go ahead. I know you want to say something before I let Kenny go, so I don't want you to lose your train of thought. But those are the things for me.
Real quick, I just want to circle back to what we all said and most said. A lot of the things that people would correct, these are things that you correct at your local state, with your local state legislature. It's not federal. The few things that are federal, which was the schools, education, because that's federally funded. I believe, I'm not sure about state assist. I think that's state assistance, not federal assistance. But I was upset, and very much so upset, about the stimulus package that just came out that was signed. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of folks received. You know what I mean? If you telling people I'm going to give you $1,200, then I'm banking on you giving me $1,200. Don't then come and tell me, well, I make too much on paper and I can't get this $1,200 because my bills are still my bills. So like that was just lame to then be told that I'm gonna get a check for $300. So what the hell did you do with the $900 that you didn't send?
Yeah, and there's a contradictory with that because they saying you make too much to get a reparation. I mean, sorry, you make too much to get a check, stimulus check, but then you give these corporations billions of dollars and bail them out. Like you'll bail out an airline, give them billions of dollars to save their business, but you won't give a stimulus check to a middle class person. Like what sense is that?
Yeah.
No
right,
sense.
Yeah. So those are my things, man. And Kurt, you're right about that. And like the last thing I want to say about education, something that Taylor said too, like equality, as you can see on my shirt, but equality in these school systems. Like this county or this school district shouldn't have a better school system than another school district. I that's crazy to me. If this school has laptops and they have the state of the art facilities and these science classrooms and everything like that, that other money need to be funded to those schools that are less fortunate, impoverished. They need to have those same things, and that's a big thing that I would do as well. Just moving money around where it's needed. Like
Prince George's County in Maryland, the DMV, is one of the most affluent African American communities and counties in the country. It's sad though that our education is not where other schools and other counties are within the state. A big part of that, though, I do also feel is people aren't showing up to these environments, to the town halls, voting on these things, holding people accountable. Like Prince George's County just they shifted funds towards athletics instead of education. That's stupid. Why? Why are we even having this conversation? That shouldn't even be.
That's why I didn't buy into that casino crap. When they said we're gonna bring casinos.
Which the casino came. But what has the community really seen? Taxes have gone up within the community.
That's why I ain't vote for it.
Exactly.
Because I knew it was bullshit. Yeah.
But those funds from the MGM coming and those jobs that they produced, it hasn't really been a benefit to the actual county or the community that supports it. But then that goes back to me and what I feel like, what I said earlier too. I do also feel like this though, in the Black community, there is nothing. I'm sorry to say this, but it's hard to please people. I'm not even going to say Black people. It's just hard to please people. Somebody's going to find a problem with what you have going on. There's going to be some issue along the way. You're not going to make everybody happy. But a lot of the issues that a lot of people have and a lot of the issues that people have with things or presidents and so on and so forth, it's not really a federal issue. It's a state issue. It's a county issue. So then you need to be talking to and you need to be dealing with who you voted for sheriff, who you voted for sheriff, who you voted for judge, who you're voting for your county rep and executives and so on and so forth. The treasurer, all those things matter. And don't just vote for that individual because they're Democrat or they're Republican. No, read and understand what the policies that they run on. And then guess what? Remember, they're a public service. They're a public servant to you. So I voted for you. I'm one of your constituents. You will do what you said you would do for my vote. So I gave you my vote. I need you to hold to your word. And if you can't understand the next turnaround, that's not going to happen. Like the funding for police departments and all of that stuff, that doesn't come from federal funds. It comes from funds that the feds give the states, so the territories, and then they decide what they do with it. It's not a federal thing.
Yeah, you're right. So let me let Kenny go. Go ahead, Kenny, finish out, because we're trying to get to these other questions, man.
Yeah,
but I appreciate it.
I'll be quick, but I'll be so different. I won't be a Democrat. I won't be a Republican. I won't be a left wing, right wing. None of that. I primarily will focus on the Black agenda. We've been mad and at a disadvantage for over 400 years. So we're going to start. If I become president, we're going to start focusing on the Black agenda, and everything else will trickle down. But there's a lot of things I'll touch on, like
what's the Black agenda though, Kenny? What exactly is the Black agenda?
So it's really what you feel what the Black agenda is. Like, for one, reparations, right? And I'm not looking for putting $250,000 in anybody's bank account that's been a Black descendant. I'm gonna make it beneficial for people of color, descendants of slaves. Meaning, instead of putting money in people's accounts, I'll take that money and pay for generations of free education, whether they go to college or trade schools.
Hey, I like
we
that.
can get real specific on how long generation, if I ever become, but what I'm saying, for generations to come, we could pay for free education out of that reparation for our kids that are born after us, our kids. Also, I'll even take a look at the education, teacher compensation. There should be no way a teacher should be making $40,000 a year in Prince George's County to teach kids. It takes a lot to teach kids that are my children's age. Their attention span, there's a lot of pressure. There's, you got quotas to meet, and things like that. So I'll take a look at that. I'll make sure that every classroom, I'll put my foot on every governor's neck and sit down, and the money that I give you, I'll put some type of auditing process, because it should be regulations on money going to schools in certain counties and cities and things like that. So I'll regulate a lot of that stuff. It won't be all of this money is going over here for construction and building new homes and contracts, where our schools, we got 50 kids in one classroom. So I'll even look at that. Criminal justice reform. I have, like I said on the last episode, I have an independent agency that will investigate cases like that seems a little odd. I won't have police
instead of IA, right?
Police.
Instead of IA, right?
I'm not having police policing police. Right. You know what I'm saying? And also taxes, big corporations. I'm my father owns a IT business, and the taxes that he pays, and the taxes that a lot of small businesses pay, are nowhere near the level of taxes that Amazon pay. I read something where Amazon is one of the most profitable organizations in the United States, and they didn't even pay their federal taxes. That's ridiculous. They have all the information to find all the loopholes. So a lot of those things won't get past me. I'll refine a lot of things. And even with the Affordable Health Care Act, that really, even though Obama did a great thing for people, it really did affect a lot of small businesses negatively, in a way, in a sense. But really, the Black agenda is what you make.
Gotcha.
It's really, just to answer your question, Kurt.
So you would definitely touch. Okay, cool. And we understand. And this question is definitely loaded, but and we understand for whoever said it was loaded, but I just think these things need to be talked about. And we understand that as a president, you definitely have to look at it from a whole, because you are the president of the United States. Yeah. But I just wanted to hear from our guys, because it's Juneteenth, and we all are African Americans, or we're Black, what I mean? So power to our people. So that's why I want to do that. But with that being said, and without further ado, we definitely want to do our game that we play. It's called Gotta Get Rid of One. And you don't even have to explain why due to time. You don't have to explain why, because we still got to get into some couple of rounds, y'all. We still got some other things we got to answer. But I just didn't want to cut people off. The dialogue was good, man. The dialogue was good. The conversation was good. So, but we do gotta get rid of one. And just say your thing, and then we'll just go on to round one, Kenny. So go ahead and ask him the question.
It's just one question. Gotta get rid of one. Thriller.
And these are
classic albums.
Classic albums.
Yeah. Thriller, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, Purple Rain, or Baduism.
So Thriller by Michael Jackson, Purple Rain by Prince, Baduism by, of course, Erykah Badu, and The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Got to get rid of one. Okay, Kurt already said it. By Lauryn.
I cannot say by Lauryn.
Okay, cool. It's on. Jaleesa, because I seen you making faces. Yeah, I seen you making your faces.
Okay, my mom is not going to be happy with this decision, but I would let Thriller go.
Okay.
Should I like?
You don't even have to. We don't listen. You don't have to say anything. But when you go back,
they're gonna cuss you out in the comments as well as me.
When you go back,
Dr. Nudie on Instagram, cuss me out. I'll enjoy it.
But when you go back and you look at the sound, that album and the songs on that album, you're gonna be like, wow, why did I do that?
It is a beautiful body of work, but I am not even 30 yet. So keep that in mind. Be cognizant of that.
Okay, cool.
Well, I will let
got me in here in the goddamn romper room. These damn babies in here.
Cousin Taylor.
All right, the youngest one on here. Purple Rain.
What? Purple Rain. You said it like you didn't know what Purple Rain was, and you don't know nothing about Prince.
Just one song.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Taylor.
I agree with Kurt. Bye, Lauren.
Okay.
That's why I love you like I love you.
Kenny.
Why are you playing like
Kenny.
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a little audio problem. Okay. I'm going by Erykah. Easy.
Bro.
Easy.
Do you want to recant that statement?
By Erykah.
I'm gonna be in the comments heckling and trolling Kenny. FYI.
All right. I'm gonna keep them all.
Oh hell no, that's not an option. That's not the option. That wasn't it. One gotta go.
Right.
One gotta go.
Awesome. Yikes. Man.
Come on over to the dark side, Lauryn Hill, because she ain't even write it. It wasn't even all her work. Next.
Who cares?
Round two.
I'll
drink.
Michael Jackson ain't right on.
What was that?
I like Erykah Badu better than I like Lauryn Hill, so bye Lauryn.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
What is going on?
So excited! So with that being said, we about to get into round one. But before we get into round one, I do like to know what everybody is drinking. Starting with myself, I am drinking red wine. It's Cabernet, drinking that good old cab, Cabernet Sauvignon. Kurt, what you drinking? Or if you are drinking.
I just finished some 42 and I'm waiting for a smoke break.
Listen, you don't even have to have to wait for the smoke break.
I do. I'm out of town in the hotel, and I think that I would lose my whole year. Because what I got in here would have the whole floor high.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wow.
Jaleesa, what you doing over there? What you drinking?
I'm drinking Stella Rosa Black.
Mm.
It is one of my good friends. We're very close.
I feel a way about twist cap wine, though.
Hey, listen, okay? I'm still in grad school. I'll get you fancy wine after I finish school, all right? Let me be broke and proud.
Well, broke and proud is a box wine. Box wine is broke and proud, not Stella Rosa.
It's only like $20, but I love it.
$20 for a bottle of wine is not cheap.
Yeah,
you get wine at $10. You get wine at $8, $9.
You get wine for $5.
Yeah, you get wine for $7.
You doctor.
Okay, so I asked them for
$9.
3 years age, so maybe that's why it's $20.
$9.
$9?
Yeah.
I'll tell you where I go.
Listen, do your thing, nurse. Cousin Taylor, what you drinking over there if you're drinking?
A $5 bottle of Moscato because I'm a nonprofit therapist.
Moscato is juice, so she drinking Welch's. Okay.
Yeah, Welch's grape juice.
What you got, Taylor?
Taylor?
Well, I'm probably, got the strongest drink here because I'm a tequila girl. So I got my little tequila mix right here.
Okay, tequila. Got that tequila. And Kenny?
Wait, I just said I had 42. Don Julio 42.
Yes, he
so how's yours?
My bad.
She's just sad. So yours is stronger than mine, and you chasing.
You in a whole nother tax bracket.
Just a little bit, just a splash, not much.
I got you. Cool.
42. Woo.
Taylor, and Kurt on that tequila. And what about you, Kenny?
$2, man.
Okay.
That's it. $9 bottle.
After this wine, though, I am going to, get on my whiskey thing, man. I'm going to go ahead and give me a glass of Basil Hayden. So
we got Jello shots ready at the Juneteenth party downstairs. I'm lit tonight.
Yeah, so I'm just drinking the wine, but I am going to get on that Basil Hayden before the show is over. But moving forward, Kenny.
So we going first round. We going with the first round. I'm going to pull this question out. We're going to get started. All right. Wow. Okay. It's the first one. Is it okay for your ex-wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, mother, father of your child, I'm not going to say baby mom or baby father, to attend family functions after you both separated? Then I got a follow-up question. Is it okay for your significant other to remain friends with your family members or friends long after you both separated? So it's a two-part question. Y'all get it? Y'all want me to repeat it?
Yes.
I got you.
Okay. Is it okay for your ex, whatever, wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, baby mom, baby father, mother, all that, to attend family functions after you both have separated? Is it okay for your significant other to remain friends with your family members or friends after you both have separated? And I will start with Taylor, Florida, down there in Florida.
All right. So I kind of biased in this situation because my parents were married for 15 years and they got a divorce, and my dad still attends all of our family functions like Christmas and stuff. So I see nothing wrong with it. But then again, they were married for 15 years. They have 2 kids, and we were all encompassed in the family together. So it would just be weird, honestly, for him not to be there.
Right.
Okay.
So I think it has more to do with time and the nature of the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you being a part of it as a child, you growing up, and if you find yourself in that situation, you wouldn't mind either, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Well, they didn't get a divorce until I was grown, but I still think I wouldn't have an issue with it. No. What was the second part again? I'm struggling with the second part of that question.
So is it okay for your significant other to remain friends with your family members or close friends long after you guys separated?
Yeah, so that kind of goes back to that too. I think it just really depends on the nature of the relationship, the nature of the breakup. Because my dad and the uncle that I live with right now, they talk all the time. So.
And that's your mom's brother?
No, it's actually my mom's brother-in-law, so he's not family.
Okay.
So yeah.
The other Taylor, cousin Taylor.
Maybe I'm salty still, or I don't know. I wish you all would. Okay, what? I done broke up with. The friend thing is a little harder because if we have mutual friends, then that I don't want to put other people in awkward situation. But family, y'all better be on my side. What's up?
I feel you. I'm with you. So to both questions, you feel that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more understanding with friends, like with mutual friends, with my significant other and stuff. Like we have friends, we have to work that out. But you know, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Jaleesa?
So, I think it's important to. It depends on the situation. I don't have a problem with it for the first part of the question. Um, it's important to exude confidence, and personally, what I've experienced with, seeing some of my friends that, they marry someone and they may have a child already, and I get invited, and she's like, if that B comes, and I'm like, I have to give the pep talk, like, you're beautiful, exude confidence, have a good time. With me, I have siblings. I have a couple of siblings and we don't have the same mom. So I grew up in an environment where it was not a shock to see my brother's mom at a function, or to, just have all of us together. It wasn't a shock when I came home from school one day and my older sister's mom was there chilling with my parents. It was just like a big family. They were just talking in the living room. So to me, it's not a problem. But I do have friends that are probably going to see this and they're like, if he invites so and so, I don't care if that's the mother, I'm going off. And I don't think it's cute. So I don't have a problem with it. But it just depends on the situation. And also it depends on how the relationship was. Like Taylor in Florida said, if there's history and there's respect on both ends, it should be fine.
Also, I've never been married or have kids, so I'm also don't have that same situation going on over here.
Kurt?
Next question.
Next question.
Wait, what?
Nah, I ducks no wreck. So I am divorced, remarried, father of 3. I have.
Congratulations on your union too, your new union.
Appreciate
man,
it.
bro.
Appreciate it. So my first wife and my youngest son's mom, they all, my aunts, my mom's sisters, have a relationship with the mothers. We haven't shared holidays or anything like that, but I'm not opposed to it. It really just comes down to respect. If you can be respectful of the situation that I'm in, you're in now, you know what I'm saying? It's all about the betterment of the kid. I mean, I would really love to be in that environment where it's a healthy, happy environment for the kids. Because in the end, no one, you know what I'm saying? Like, no one wins when the family feuds, period. And even if we're not together, we share the child together, so we still family. And with family, like, you don't always like family, but you know what I'm saying? It's always that respect. So if you choose to have a relationship with them, that's fine by all means. Leave me out of it personally, though. Like, y'all relationship is your relationship. Anything pertaining to me or what I have going on at that point in time, I would expect you to just cut the conversation. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's whatever. But if it's some treachery, that's when it's family and kids. Now, if it's like a girlfriend, somebody who we have, like, once that relationship goes, like, you took your ball, I took my ball, and we go home, then nah, that motherfucker dead in the water. You better not bring that motherfucker back around here. Period.
Yeah, I feel you.
You understand what I'm saying? But I mean, it's really, what would be the need though? Like, what would be the need if there's no children involved? If there's no children involved,
right?
To keep coming around. Now, if y'all have y'all relationship, then that's fine. But y'all relationship shouldn't be involving, like, I having to see you at the holidays, because the holiday is for family and friends, and we all ain't friends. So, yeah. Especially if like you in another situation now, because then, like, the families done made it weird. So now I got my new situation with me, and you done brought in my old situation here, like, awkward. Yeah, I'm cool on that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
What about you, James?
For me, like Taylor, I both Taylor. I mean, well, Florida Taylor. I understand what you're saying. Me and my sister, we have different fathers, and you know, my sister father, he still comes around to functions, and now my stepdad, now that my mom married, come to the they in the function, they interact with each other, they have a good time. So for me, it's not a problem. I'm used to it. I see it. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, when it comes to the children, I guess as long as the situation is, like I said, is not toxic and everything like that, then I don't see nothing wrong with it. Girl, I guess, like, I know Kurt went from the girlfriend. If it's a girlfriend, yeah, that's different. But if you were married to that person, you don't have kids, and they still come around, I mean, I think as long as you express to your partner and make your partner feel comfortable, and make sure that it's respect, as everybody said, but make sure that your partner is secure. You make sure you make your partner feel secure with the situation, that there's nothing going on and anything like that. You know, because if it's a friend of the family or anything of that nature, like, for example, let's just say I met a female through you guys and we dated and everything like that, but they're y'all friends. Anybody on this pod, they're y'all friends. And now me and her are not, you know, dealing with each other in that situation. He's still gonna come to the family cookout. She's still gonna come and have a good time and everything like that. So when I bring
F that, Nino, cancel that joint. Buy me another one tomorrow.
I just watched that the other day.
New Jack.
I just watched that the other day, Kurt. But like I was saying, though, I mean, at the end of the day, I would, you know, I can't tell you, oh, well, you know, I'm bringing my new girl, like, tell your homegirl, it's just what it is. It's a respect thing. We had our time. It didn't work. It didn't go the distance. It is what it is. Let me respect, and then I make sure I make my new mate or my new, you know, significant other feel secure and comfortable with the situation. And I would let her know up front, hey, this is what it might be when you come into the situation. I'm not gonna let her be blindsided by it. But I don't have no problem with it. I mean, if you bring your little funky ass boyfriend to the function.
We jumping that nigga before the crowd.
You bring your funky ass boyfriend to the function, man. Bring him out. It don't bother me, man. We had our
James
time.
has no problem calling me. We gonna foot bath.
Listen.
Introduce James to none of your friends.
At the end of the day, we had our time. Our time is now gone. So, you know, I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm gonna always be cool.
I listen to everybody, man, and you know, I don't care if it's toxic or not toxic. I don't care if it's a kid involved or there are no kids. If I divorce my wife tomorrow, my whole family and my friends divorce her.
I'm with D.
Yeah,
I'm with D.
Nah, everybody,
hey, D.
everybody, and let me say something. I'm not saying this is not nothing that's gonna be a surprise to her. Me and her talked about this, and I told her, and she tried to flip it. I said, there's no way I'll come around your family barbecue. We ain't together, so why am I there? I'll drop the kids off and keep it moving. But why am I there? We ain't together. That's the point I'm coming from. So why are you here? So, like, you know,
if I ain't running them cheeks, what you need me to keep coming around here for? Don't
right.
Get you, Kenny.
Right. Go with who your new dude is. You know,
Dusty Dave,
Dave
that Kirk and James gonna jump.
Yeah.
Going with Dusty Dave, that Kirk and James gonna jump.
You know what I'm saying? Just drop my kids off and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like my sister said, she ain't feeling it. My sister next to you. I told kids that she ain't feeling that shit. I said, well, if she's there, I'm not coming. I'll make plans.
Me and
I respect
how real it is with me.
I respect that, Kenny. Like, listen.
Because I'm the same on both sides. Like James, if I have no reason to remain friends with
my ex, I get it.
I have no reason to.
I got it.
But if y'all was friends before, then I mean, you can be friends afterwards. But like Taylor and I think both the Taylor said, you know what I'm saying, this also depends on how the situation broke. There are people, and I've seen situations where it been a relationship and it just did not work. You were friends before, the relationship didn't work out, so now we're not friends. Like, we're not intimate anymore, but we're still able to be friends. I mean, that's adults. You know what I'm saying? That's being grown. But
you got to know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But being in a situation where like there's bad blood or tension, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, why would you want to put that awkward energy into any situation or any environment where somebody could feel uncomfortable? That's just, yeah. Because with family, you're supposed to be safe. You're supposed to be faithful with family.
Yeah.
For me, though, and don't have me come over to a barbecue and I'm bringing someone, you know, I'm bringing another woman, I know how D is. I know how my wife is. She's gonna make her feel uncomfortable.
And I'm gonna help.
So that's what I'm saying.
And Jaleesa there for it.
If I separate, I have to separate all ties because I know how she get down. That I mean, you got to know who you're dealing with.
Gotcha.
At the same time, too.
Many blessings to you and yours, Kenny, because we don't want y'all to.
Yeah,
ever...
we definitely don't want no separation there.
Yeah.
From being very rude to the next.
Yeah.
Hey, it's gonna be like that Bella Noche situation. Anything with Kenny and D, it's gonna be one of. If y'all was beefing at the wedding, y'all should have been beefing at the wedding. Don't be bringing that down here to Bella Noche's.
Don't bring that to Bella Noche's.
Don't bring that to Bella Noche's.
Don't bring that to Bella Noche's. That's
they
crazy,
shooting out.
man.
They having a shootout. They having a shootout on Channel 8 News. Yeah. Kenny ain't playing. I told you don't bring that nigga around here. I told you.
I got my permit too.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. You're right. Hey man. Second Amendment.
Chitty bang bang. Chitty bang bang.
Kenny bang bang.
Kenny bang bang.
But definitely.
Y'all are so silly.
Yeah, but you're right though, man. I respected Kenny. Like for me, man, I'm cool, man. Like it don't bother me, man. Listen, we had our time. As Kenny hates this, and I wanted to say something, Kurt, because you said it's nothing. You know, when a Family Feud, that's the Jay-Z bar. Kenny hates all Jay-Z bars. But I'm going to say one. Our time together is our time together, and our time apart is our time apart. So love Jay with your mind, girl, and not your heart. So it was what it was. You know what I mean?
I don't really care what Kenny liked or doesn't like. I mean, his hat says it all. His hat is stupid. His hat is stupid. His team is dumb.
Okay.
But,
and his coach is... I won't say what he is, but he's mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Just leave it at that.
Being said, man, Kenny, let's get on to that round two, man. Round two.
Oh, man.
How y'all doing tonight? Y'all having a good time, though, while he's getting them round two together?
Absolutely. Y'all are so funny.
There's no other place I'd rather be.
Honestly, I was waiting for my invite. Y'all told me about this 2 years ago. I'm like, when they gonna let me?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. So like,
hey, same. James, I was like, oh, let me get it.
James came to me like 2018. James came to me 2018 and was like, yo, I want to bounce something up. Like, first off, it sounded like when he first said something to me, he's like, yo, bro, I got to talk to you. And I'm like, okay, what are you talk about? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, this could be anything, right? So we at work, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, I got to talk to you. I want to run something past you. I was like, all right, cool. He's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about doing this podcast situation. I want to do this, John. And I was like, all right, well, bet. Go ahead, do it. What you need from me? He was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how'd y'all get started, so on and so forth. And I told him for me, pretty much the platform was already set. I just fell into something. And it just flourished from there. But as far as what he was trying to do, it was like starting something from scratch. And I was like, well, pick it up and run with it. Whatever you need from me, I got you. You know what I'm saying? So then that's when he came to me with the pilot. But we first had this conversation in 2018, and that was like in the summertime, I believe. And it took like, and then he said something again in like Christmas, and I was like, yeah, all right, bro, we'll see, because you said something in June, and then you was a city boy out here. So you wasn't thinking about no damn podcast back in June.
He wasn't. No, he wasn't. Hey, look
Hot Boy Summers.
Hey, look at him, Kurt. He want to go to the next question like shit. Look,
round two. Where is round two? Round two.
Bartender, please.
Bartender, round two.
All right, here we go. Got anything you want to say, James? You good? You mean
round two. That's what I got to say.
All right. Second round. Can you date or marry someone that your family doesn't approve of? Couple follow-up questions. You know what? I'm gonna stick with that first question.
Yeah, we don't need. We need no follow-up.
Yeah, just like that. We're gonna go like that.
It just
adjust this mic real quick. Let me just adjust this mic real quick.
So
can you date or marry someone that your family doesn't approve of?
And I want to start with the ladies. Ladies first. You know what I mean? We ladies first. So let's start with cousin Taylor, because she's not married, I don't believe. So I don't see a ring on her finger. So let me ask Taylor.
I'm not. So yes, but I honestly would want certain family members to like who I'm dating, but I'm so independent and also a lesbian, so I'm just kind of used to people not approving my life. So I definitely would definitely date or marry somebody that my family don't like, but also I'm privileged that I'm close to Lamar and his family, and they always welcome everybody I bring over, even if they trifling. So I'm lucky, and I always have some family on my corner, I guess.
Okay, cool. So you don't care. But with that being said, Taylor, I heard what you said. You're lesbian. Shout out to you because it is Pride Month.
Thank you.
So shout out to
Pride
you.
Month, yeah.
And you being a Black African American woman. Shout out to you double time. Juneteenth. Shout out for being Black, all Black everything, and then shout out to you for the Pride Month. So you don't care. You cool with it. You gonna marry whoever you want to marry, despite how your family feel, despite if they approve of them, whatever have you.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to Nike Taylor. Nike Taylor. What do you think?
Absolutely not. I could not marry somebody that my family doesn't approve of just because I am extremely close to my family. Like, we talk every day. Like, wow, okay. That would mean if I were to marry somebody that they don't approve of, that means that I would have to separate from them, and I could not do that. So definitely got to run it by them first. And if they see the red flags, they got to let me know, because I'll cut them off real quick.
Oh, Lisa.
Okay.
So I tried that and it didn't work. I was in.
So you talking from experience?
I'm talking from experience. I was in undergrad, and the guy I was dating, and we were convinced that we were soulmates. And my mother can see through a damn black brick. So, when she kept telling me, I never really cared for my father's commentary, because I was like, dude, you were wild back in the day. But when it came to my mom, she has made such calculated moves in her life that I always trusted her, her disposition towards whoever I was talking to. So, when the guy told my father, yeah, I want to marry your daughter, I really love her, and they laughed him out in front of me. It was like Taylor said, it was like in that moment, I was like, okay, if I go hard with you and really like marry you and settle down with you, I'm going to have to disconnect from my mom and from the people, because they'll be so disappointed. And anytime you disappoint me, I won't be able to go to my mom and the people that warned me about you. And it just ended up not working. So, I ended up marrying my high school sweetheart. My mom always loved him, even back in high school. And even though marriage is hard and we have ups and downs and everything, my mom taught me, do you still like the person when they do unlikable things? And so that became a message of let's be privy to their character and less interested in how good the D is, or how much money they have, or how their car is. So it just so happened it was good that he had a nice car and all the other stuff. So it was like, okay, in this character, but I'm really glad that I didn't go with, my 21-year-old self. Like,
gotcha.
I don't care what y'all think, because it just wasn't going to work.
Cool. Kurt.
Hold on. First of all, Jaleesa, you're not going to talk about my uncle like that. Okay. All right, Kurt, you
I love my dad, but
all right.
Bro,
Kurt.
Out.
So real quick, I'm 39. I'll be 40 next year, February.
Woo!
Getting married before 30 to me is wild, super wild. I don't even understand how you could do it. Just understanding like the human brain. Say it one more time.
Thank you for making me feel better for still being single. I have 2 more years.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
Killer.
So, and the reason that I say that part is because the human brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 25.
Right.
So from birth to 18, you're trying to figure out who you are, right? And then from 19 to 22, you in school, or you're trying to figure out life. And then at 25, like, oh my God, 5 years, here comes 30. What am I going to do with my life? What direction am I going into? And to try to learn yourself and try to learn somebody else is just too much pressure, in my opinion. you can like me, I can like you. You can love me, I can love you. But to jump into a marriage for forever, I'm not sure about. So for anyone who's thinking about getting married under the age of 30, I would ask you to think long and hard. That being said,
I'm about to say, cool. Now, we want to know this. Would you marry, well, you're married already, but would you have married anybody that your family didn't approve of?
So I will answer that, and I will be transparent about that. Folks in my family had reservations. Close friends, family had reservations when I got married the first time. They was like, yeah, it wouldn't work. This such and such and such and such. You know what I'm saying? And because we were a tight-knit family, when things would go on, who else am I going to talk to but family? I told you. And then, you know what I'm saying, the situation went left. It ended. Obviously, I'm not married to her anymore. I wish her the best always. But I think that also plays a part in the situation, because when you join that union, when you become one, because that's what you guys are now, it doesn't matter what your mom, your dad, cousin, brother, sister, anybody else think. It's supposed to be God and then my spouse next. Family, everything else is a far second. When you move into that union, mom and dad don't matter anymore. They live their life. They made a decision for them, and that was their decision, and it worked out however it worked out. So it's my opportunity now and my time now to live my life. So I don't think, like I said, with my first situation, I was young though. I was younger, and I wasn't sure of who I was yet. So I probably shouldn't have been married in the first place.
Gotcha.
But even with family feeling the way that they did, when we stepped into that union was ours. So if, God forbid, you know what I'm saying, like say for instance, somebody in my family didn't approve of, you know what I'm saying, my wife now. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, I don't approve of you doing whatever you do. I don't,
gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever
so
it is.
You don't care. So pretty much, you know what I mean?
No, because when you in the word, you understand what the word means. And the word means that like, this is my family now. Like mama and daddy is no longer my issue. Gotcha. And I'm no longer their, I'm always going to be their child, but I'm not their responsibility.
Gotcha. Cool. Kenny.
Can you date or marry someone that your family doesn't? I'm family oriented, but I don't know. I think I probably could.
Okay, cool.
I never been in that situation, but I think I probably
with that
could.
Box hitting on. That's what it mattered with Kenny. Kenny want to know what that box hitting on. That Jones striking him out.
Wow.
Mama got to understand.
Wow. Back to Kenny. Kenny.
James, you want to? What about you, James?
Kenny. Before we move on, Kenny, you okay? Kenny, you okay? So you say you can, pretty much.
Oh man.
Yes. Right, cool. For me, I don't think I could, because like I said, my family is very close knit. We're tight. And I've seen situations in my family where, you know, it was things that, you know, like just not bringing a person around, coming around for the holidays and things of that nature, that they don't show up. And that was like, wow, this is not the same. It's awkward. The elephant in the room and things of that nature. So for me, I would definitely like to marry somebody that my family definitely likes as well, because, you know, I don't want that person to feel a certain way either. Like I don't want, you know, that person to feel like they can't be around, or, you know, they feel awkward. They walking on eggshells every time they're around my family. That's not fair to them. Mm-hmm. So for me, yeah, I definitely want them to feel comfortable and enjoy. Like, just imagine your mother don't like your wife. Hey, she got to go pick the kids up from the grandma's house. Like, you know, it's like, all right, bye. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want that for her. I don't want my wife to have to deal with anything like that. I want my wife to feel like she's protected and she and her family got her back, because when you get into that union, you're merging the families together. No matter how you look at it, yes, it's us and then it's everybody else. But at the end of the day, I want my wife to be able to call on my mom if she needs to, and not feel like she can't. You know what I mean? I want that. So for me, I want her to be able to, I want her to be able to be able to, feel comfortable with my family. Like, I want to be able to say, I'm gonna run out and I'll be back.
This only I'm gonna say though, Jane. You only live one time.
Yeah.
So you live your life.
Of course.
There'll be many disagreements you'll have with your family, but this is somebody that if you want to put up with this person, not put up with them, but if you love this person, you want to be with this person, be with them. And if it's not the right person, only time would tell. But like, that's why I can do it. Like, I'm not going. I live my life.
Lamar, you have such an open family and parents. You don't even have to deal with any of that.
I mean, like,
I say the best.
But my mom, she's very open. She like, hey, that's who you married, cool. I respect her. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she like, listen, I don't like her. You shouldn't be with her. That's how my grandmother rock. But other than that, man, we, like I said, for time we move on to third round. But like I said, I don't know if I could do it. But with that being said, this third round, y'all, and we're going into the last round. Last call, man. Everybody.
We got a toast.
Got a toast, man. Everybody put their glass up, man.
Last round.
Last round. Hey, I like that toast, Kurt. I like that toast. So, last round, man. Last call, man. You know what I mean? Thank you guys, man. We almost at the finale of the show, the third round, man. So, Kenny, the last question has always been the same question lately. So, just give me an answer and we can, the question is always this lately, and I love this question. It's one question that we've said on the men's show, and this question has like stuck with the pod. So I'm gonna start with always ladies first because we're gentlemen on this show. So with that being said, Jaleesa, I'm gonna start with you. The last round. What advice would you give a younger you? And just real quick, what advice would you give the younger you, and what advice would you give to somebody, a young lady growing up in this world today? Real quick.
Okay. Real quick, I would tell the younger me I'm wired to always want to understand things, and I would tell the younger me to stop leaning on my understanding and really lean on Christ. Okay. Growing up in a church and a private school and still like having fear, it never made sense to me. But now I'm older, I get it, and I worry less, and I don't give a shit what somebody, thinks about me or.
As Kurt was doing.
Oh, thank you, Kurt. So I would tell the younger me to really lean on Christ and stop leaning on your understanding. Okay. So I'm a Black woman in STEM, and I would tell other Black girls going into STEM, or even like Black women also going into like cousin Taylor's in therapy. I have a few cousins that are in therapy, and I even have a cousin that just became a judge about a year ago in Atlanta. And if I could talk to the younger versions of them, I would tell them to go hard in the change that they believe that they can have, because I've heard people talk down on those type of careers. STEM. Oh, you don't want to go into that. I've been told you don't want to go into that. They don't even pay you the same as the men. And then, with a white man's world, you need to go somewhere where you can dominate. Not dominating in STEM. So it's like, I would tell the younger versions of them, really surround yourself with people that are going to feed the dream and the vision that you believe God has made you, birthed you for.
So pretty much the younger you, because we had it was staticky, but the younger you, the girls, you would tell the young girls in this world coming up, go hard at what they want and achieve.
Yeah. Go hard in the change. It's muting me. It says I'm muted. I don't know. Yeah. But
that ugly hat of Kenny's is messing with everything right now.
So, but you're saying, like I said,
you believe. That's
go ahead. Going hard on what you believe.
The way that you feel like you can change and make little change or big change, believe in it. Like, don't let. I had a lot of people talk negative to me. Like, you wouldn't believe when I was young. You can't, like, being a little Black girl saying I want to be a scientist. That sounds crazy. Even when I would be like, ask me about the periodic table at 8. They'll be like, it's not just about the periodic table.
Gotcha. Cool.
Mute that negativity. Yeah.
Cool. Taylor from Nike, real quick. What would you tell a younger you, and what would you tell a young woman growing up in this world today?
I would tell the younger me that kind of the same line where Jaleesa was just going, like tuning out everybody else, just making, and even myself, like I could be my biggest critic sometimes. So just really believing in myself, and just knowing that you are capable of anything literally that you put your mind to. So if you want it done, go get it, go do it, whatever it takes, get it done. And you'll be great. For young women growing up in this world today, I would say, educate yourself. Like a little bit of what we were talking about earlier, like education, whether it's through school or through your, people that you know, or like whatever the case may be, just truly educate yourself so that way you can affect true change.
Gotcha. Taylor, cousin Taylor. Yeah, cousin Taylor. Real quick, man.
I would tell my younger self to just lean into the passions, right? Like, it's going to be okay. Like, I think I spent so much time worrying about getting out of Alabama, making my dreams come true, that I wasn't able to like lean in and be a kid. I was always just being too adult. For young people, so I always tell them, be the change you want to see, but also like don't allow adults to tell you to sit down and shut up. Like, you are the future. Your voice needs to be heard. You are the foot soldiers for us. Like, tell the adults to shut up and tell them I told you to say that.
Got you. Kurt, real quick, you, man. Younger you, and then what would you tell a young man growing up?
I would tell my younger self, you can and you will. And as far as today, a young man growing up in today's society, like I do with my son, believe in your talent. Believe in you. Period.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And of course, thank you guys. But before we leave and before we wrap up, man, the last question, real quick as well, man. The last question. I'm gonna start with the ladies again. I'm gonna come to you, cousin Taylor, first. Who would you like to have a bar? If you could, who would you like to have a bar drinking entree with?
So
why? And why? Real quick.
Okay. My Uncle Cyrus, who passed a few years ago, just because he just always inspired me and like let me, like, he was the first person I think that told me to be authentic and be myself. That was it. Yeah, Uncle Cyrus.
Cool. Nike Taylor. Nike Taylor, real quick, man. Bar drinks and entrees with one person. I mean, not one person, but bar drinks and entree. I mean, who would like to have a bar drinks and entree with, and why?
I would like to have a bar drinks and entree with Megan Thee Stallion, because she's just amazing. She kind of just blew up out of nowhere. I just think that would just be so much fun. So okay. I would definitely do it with her.
Okay.
Agree.
Okay.
I totally.
Okay. Jaleesa?
I would do it.
I totally agree.
I love Megan Thee Stallion, okay? I agree.
That's my girl.
All right, so real quick, I would do, this might be weird, you guys. I would do it with Imhotep. He was the first African scientist, mathematician, and he was a architect.
Nothing weird about that. That's your fashion. That's your field. Nothing weird about that.
I've been obsessed with him since I was young. He's praised as the first scientist. He was Black, he was African. And I just want to talk to him, get him a little tipsy and ask him, how can I build off of the power that he established? And that was stolen from a lot of the libraries from where he was from. And, the medications that he used were not full of man-made chemicals. He was healing people and doing surgeries back in BC or so.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's him.
Okay. Last but not least, my big bro, Kurt, man, real quick, man, who would you like to have a bar drinks and entrees with and why?
So it's two. The first one would be my mom. I feel like our time got cut short. I lost my mom in 2008 to breast cancer.
Rest in peace to Mom
Appreciate
Dukes.
that. Tomorrow's her birthday.
Oh,
so,
happy birthday, Mom.
Cancer.
My baby would be. Well, I thought she would be a Gemini. Maybe
Gemini,
she a Cancer. I'm not
Cancer,
sure.
Cancer,
I don't know.
I
She
don't
on
know.
the cusp. I don't
On the
know.
cusp.
She always said she was a Gemini, but I feel like our time got cut short. In my personal opinion. So yeah, I would love to have that moment. And then the second person, it would be like a person who, you know what I'm saying, I've looked up to, music I've adored for years now. This whole yeah, it's Jay-Z, bro. Yeah, listen, you don't like Jay-Z, I don't like your hat. So what? Deal with it. But just like his forward thinking, and just to say, you know what I'm saying, that a guy become a billionaire from an environment that many of us are familiar with, you know what I'm saying, and can relate to without a college degree, without, you know what I'm saying, a college education, to be in the level and be in the place that he's at. His platform is amazing and it's huge for our community. So I would definitely love to sit down, partake in, you know what I'm saying, the fellowship with my good man.
Cool, man. Thank you guys so much for being a part of episode 10 of Bar Drinks and Entrees. Kurt, Jaleesa, Taylor from Nike, cousin Taylor, man. Thank you guys again. It's a wrap. You know, thank you guys for being on the show. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for the good conversation, the good dialogue, everything, man. And one thing I do want to say before we close out, shout out to you Black women. I know that you guys don't feel covered all the time, but we're here to say, the three Black men on this show right now, I know are here to say that we got y'all back in anything.
Are appreciated.
I appreciate it. So shout out to our Black women. We love you guys. Don't think what you seeing on his gram. I know some of us have seen a young lady get thrown in the trash can, the other lady get hit with a skateboard, things of that nature. That's not everybody. That's not us Black men. Black men, we love it. Don't let these people divide us with what they're showing right now. We love you guys. We got y'all back. You know what I mean? We're y'all protectors, and we're gonna always be y'all protectors. And I think I can speak for every male, Kenny and Kurt, on this show right now. So shout out to y'all. We love you guys. Thank you for what y'all do for us. And we got y'all. Don't ever think that we don't. You know what I mean? Also, another episode is locked. Another episode is done. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel at Bar Drinks and Entrees. Follow us at Bar Drinks and Entrees on Instagram, Facebook, Bar Drinks and Entrees. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell a friend to tell a friend. Did I miss anything, Kenny?
It's at Bar Drinks and Entrees for Instagram. Lead the podcast off just at Bar Drinks and Entrees. Just follow that on Instagram.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah, YouTube channel, Apple, Google,
Spotify,
Anchor. We on all those platforms.
We on all those platforms. Man, tell a friend to tell a friend, man, and just come check us out, man. And we love you guys. Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, man. Another episode. It's a wrap, man.
Thank you.
Peace. Thank y'all.